You know the saying that abs are made in the kitchen? Let's figure out whether that is really the case in today's Training Tip Tuesday. Hey guys, it's Sophie from GAINSBYBRAINS and welcome to today's video. In this series I will share a tip with you, something informative, something that helps you out in your fitness journey, and that can be anything related to training, to nutrition or to fitness in general, but that all doesn't rhyme with Tuesday, so that is why I decided to go with Training Tip Tuesday. I really hope that you will enjoy this new series, that it helps you out, and if you have any recommendations or if you have any tips that you'd like me to dive into, then please make sure to leave it in the comments down below, to leave some recommendations. It can be related to anything, whatever you want me to cover. And for this week, for this Training Tip Tuesday, I'll be talking about why your abs are not showing. The reason why people say that abs are made in the kitchen is because if you lose weight through your diet, and your body fat percentage will decrease, it will go down, and this will help with revealing your abs. In general, having visible six-pack, having visible abdominal muscles has to do with a few factors, and the first one is your body fat percentage, the second one is your muscular density, and the third one is your genetics. Let's start with your body fat percentage, because in order for your abdominal muscles to show, they shouldn't be covered in too much fat, because if you have a small layer of fat, a thin layer of fat laying on top of your muscles, then they will show through, then you will see the definition. So in order for your abs to be visible, you need to have a certain level of body fat percentage that is low enough for your abdominal muscles to pop through, to be revealed. Now if you have a high muscular density, that means that your abs are very well developed. And just like with every other muscle, they will be a bit bigger, meaning that you don't need to have that low of a body fat percentage in order for your abs to pop through, in order for your abs to be revealed. So there is a bit of a balance between on one end your body fat percentage and on the other end your muscular density. So having a very high muscular density when your abs are very well developed, then your body fat percentage doesn't need to be as low in order for them to be revealed, in order for them to show. But also when you have a very low body fat percentage, but maybe your abs aren't that well developed, meaning that you don't have a very high muscular density, then there is still a chance that you have a visible six-pack, but it might be looking pretty flat because your abs aren't that well developed. This is also why some people have a very low body fat percentage but not a very high muscular density, meaning that they have a pretty flat looking six-pack. You also have people who have a high body fat percentage but their abs are still showing, and that is because they have a very high muscular density. Now in the first case with a flat six-pack, it can also be that someone is depleted, that their muscles are depleted, but it can also be that they just haven't trained their abdominal muscles as much. As I mentioned earlier, there is also a third factor playing a big role in it all, in having a visible six-pack, and that is your genetics. So genetics not only plays a factor in how your six-pack looks, so how your abdominal muscles are looking, but genetics also plays a role in where you carry your fat. So if you carry your fat on your legs and not on your stomach area, then your overall body fat percentage doesn't need to be as low as someone who carries their fat on their stomach area and not on their legs. So that is also why it is easier for some people to maintain a six-pack, and why it's harder for others to even have a six-pack, to have their six-pack showing, or to keep a six-pack, because that might mean that you need to be in a very low body fat percentage, which isn't as easily maintainable. So let's talk about how you can train your abs. So I personally train my abs like every other muscle. So I rely on progressive overload, meaning that I keep my abdominal muscles work harder than they are used to from session to session. I also do not rely just on compound movements to train my abs, and that I use a variety of rep ranges to train them. Compound movement contracts your abdominal muscles isometrically. This is a contraction where your abdominal muscles do not shorten, and this is very important because it strengthens your muscles. And it also helps with stabilizing your spine throughout the day. However, when you are training your abs with targeted exercises, then you also implement isotonic contractions. And these are contractions where the muscle shortens and it causes movement. I personally have the best results when I implement both contractions into my workout routine. So I make sure to train my abs with compound movements, as you will when you are really focusing on keeping your core tight, as you should with compound movements, but I also train them separately with targeted exercises. When you should train your abs, so I always train my abs 1 to 2 times a week separately, so with targeted exercises, and you should definitely focus on training your abs whenever they are not showing. So if you're bulking, for example, if you are trying to build muscle by eating in a caloric surplus, then don't forget to train your abs even though they aren't visible, because you are building your muscular density, meaning that they will show whenever your body fat percentage will decrease. So that being said, abs are made in the kitchen and they are made in the gym. As always, training and nutrition go hand in hand with reaching your fitness goals. I really hope that you enjoyed this first episode of Training Tip Tuesday, where I explained why your abs are not showing. I really hope that it helps you out. If it did, please make sure to give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because that really means a lot to me, and it also makes sure that you don't miss any of my future uploads ever again. I really hope that you enjoyed this week's Training Tip Tuesday, and I'll see you next week in another episode. Hope you're having a great day. Bye guys!